And let me start recording. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Grinning Goggle Gaming Greyhawk campaign on Twitch and on podcasts. Wherever you're listening to us or viewing, welcome. As usual, welcome to my players, and thank you to Fantasy Grounds Unity, which is still in early access. So there might be an occasional bug or something, but we have been lucky so far. And of course, Sirenscape, because epic games need epic music. So when we left off last time, it was pouring with rain. You guys were busy training up during this 2-week period of these heavy storms, and helping out the people, erecting some shrines, training, like I said, doing some shopping, trying to make some new acquaintances in town. You also were at least Alan's character, Xerxes, the tiefling, sorcerer, was approached by a contact that you guys had made in the past, telling you about a bit of a strange incident where there's a merchant prince that is looking to hire a group of adventurers to retrieve something for him. And you know that you can find him in Seaton, where your ship is at the moment as well, still being outfitted for war, so to speak. What else happened?
What's his name? Oceanus is keen to join us going inland.
Oh yes, that's right.
I didn't write that down, but I wasn't there.
Don't worry, I took notes.
He is, of course, still indebted to you for rescuing him from the Sea Ghost and the bunch of smugglers that were busy smuggling weapons, amongst other things, along
he really wants
the coast.
Me to draw.
Yeah. I might just do another long rest here so that it clears all those initiatives and things from last week. And
then I also found out that there was a sort of calamities 100 years ago because of a cult.
Yes, this is indeed true. And which is sort of like a herald of, it was the last time an event, a weather event of this magnitude, where it's rained now for about 3 weeks, happened, was when this strange cult came to prominence, and had to be put down, basically. But you do know from Welgar that he, being a slightly more powerful cleric than you are, he did tell you that he was communing with Freqman as well, and he also didn't receive any, important news from the god that this was anything of the sort. In fact, Freqman was strangely silent about the whole story. So, you guys are in town. You have finished, lazing around for a couple of weeks, training, not lazing. You have a few things, odds and ends, and at this point in time, I am passing the reins over to you guys. Direct me. Where would you like to go?
Well, first, before we go anywhere, I want to ask, does anyone have use for scale mail?
No.
Because I've been carrying this shit around and it's heavy.
Solid.
Yeah, well, it could come in useful. It gives you a swimming speed of 30.
What is scale mail? Medium?
Medium.
Medium.
Still shiny and blue scales as well.
Ooh, blue, so...
Buy a stand and just hang it on it.
I could have a use for it.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I look at my
stuff.
It gives you disadvantage on stealth, though. Skill.
Yeah, but then it's AC 14 base and can add dex.
Yeah, I could use it.
Okay.
If you have no use for it.
No, not at the moment. I prefer my current mail.
So I must do a transfer.
Please. Plus, you'll be able to swim your walking speed if you ever need to.
What's it?
Mariner's scale mail.
Mariners. The marinated scale mail.
Marinara scale mail.
And there we go.
Look at Beru looking all seaward in his in his new mail that has shells and scales on it.
I don't know if he's wearing it at the moment.
No, he's not.
So, any other business you want to take care of? There we go. Blah, blah, blah.
That's all I wanted to do for now.
So, who's directing the flow, so to speak?
So, Xerxes, you mentioned something about the guy in Seaton.
Yeah, we wanted to go. We thought that the party could do with an outing to the merchants, the traveling merchants.
Oh yes.
I say, didn't somebody
Maybe.
want to also talk to the alchemist?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
you
hear you
are.
now.
No, we can't.
Okay. I've been talking, and my input was on the wrong stuff. Okay, anyways, before I meet up with anyone, I would have looked for Beru because Beru and I discussed something that we needed to do before we went into our respective leveling up, whatever, downtime.
That's correct. So, would you like to do that stuff? I do seem to recall something about needing the group for something as well.
Nah, not really, no.
Weren't you going to use this as a
we
distraction without us knowing it?
I mean, we totally could.
Yeah, that was planned. The whole
Oh yeah,
group
but they
outing.
don't need
Yes.
to come with us to do the first part of the plan.
Sorry.
So essentially, what we're going to do, just so that you're like up to speed, we're going to go to the traveling merchants.
Yeah.
We're going to suss it out. I'm going to invite Captain Zendros, I think is her name,
Yeah.
to have a drink and swap war stories. Yeah. Where everyone else is going to be at the tavern, because it's been long. We've been doing things the whole time, so we're probably going to drink a bit before we head off to our next mission. Yeah, so that phase 2 can begin.
Okay, so you want to do that first, or
yeah.
is that just something that's been happening in the background? Because she was already fairly friendly with you, seeing as you are both tieflings, and tieflings are fairly rare and unusual, down south in Kierland.
Yeah, so it's kind of like we want to go do a bit of scouting while it's light. I don't know what the time is now.
It is whatever you need it to be.
So, I mean, if it's still early or daytime at least, Bear and I wanted to just go to that encampment. Everyone else can come if they want as well. I wasn't planning on letting everyone know about the first part, just in case they caught on that we were doing something dodgy. So, yeah, do you want to go suss it out, have a chat? She apparently has magic items, so also just ask if there is anything. Yeah, and then I also need to sell those hides or skins for the snakes and the croc.
Oh yes, there's those as well. All right.
Yeah, and then when I'm there and I'm observing, what's it, Captain
Zendros.
Yeah.
Zendros, I'm going to be observing Captain Zendros very carefully. Mannerisms, voice, looks, etc.
All right. Very good. So, sorry, I just want to adjust the volume on this a little bit. So, what are we doing first? So is this now moving on to part 2, or is this still part of part 1?
Part 1. Part 2 would be, hey, some drinks at the tavern, where we can,
Okay.
do whatever. Bard can play music if she wants, blah blah blah.
Well,
Of course.
let me paint you a picture of words. So, in this 2 weeks where you've been keeping yourselves occupied, most people are going stir-fry crazy from being indoors. Eventually that rain does start to let up and the sun does come out. And, everybody is just thankful to be around, be alive still. There was a little bit of damage here and there in the town. And there are certain of the ships, even though they tried their best, to protect them during the storm, there were a few unfortunate incidents. But all in all, minor injuries, nothing too bad. The town is pretty soggy. Everything is muddy. So there where there's dirt roads, it's going to be unpleasant to walk in. But most of the roads are cobbled, or at least half cobbled. What you do know that there is something being planned as a little bit of Thanksgiving. Gellin Primewater has decided to open up his personal reserves and throw a bit of a celebration for the town. And as a matter of fact, Siren, he has contacted you, as you have already sort of what's the word I'm looking for? He's your patron at this point in time. He's offering you a permanent job, with a bit of a stipend for you to perform at these festivals that he likes to throw every now and then.
Sure.
So just be prepared. You will be asked to do something in the evening, most likely. But he's hired, the usual things. Any entertainers that happen to be in town, that were stuck here, like when they were laid over from traveling from one place to the other. He's basically paid them handsomely. So there's jugglers and singers and even a few street magicians that are already plying their trade in the market squares. You notice I assume that everybody is going to the markets to have a look. Is anybody doing something else?
Yeah, I'll join in the market.
So are we going to the markets because there's jugglers and magicians?
Yeah, basically
And
just to see what all is happening, see if you can pick up any news.
You're there to support your friend.
No.
Thank you.
If we
Yeah,
go mess
totally.
with the magicians and use real magic to make their stuff look like it happened.
Yeah, I'm totally going to go along.
After my couple of days, just by the way, because now we're all together again, right?
Correct.
I will go up to each member of the party and I'll say Prezi for you and give everyone a healing potion. So that's how
Oh,
many? 5, eh?
nice.
You're so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Oh.
Beru.
Thanks, Beru.
I
I'll
can
get you
just
back.
roll one up right on my potions.
Yeah, you can just add one.
How do you roll with the
Control.
Xbox controller?
Toto.
I cannot answer that question. Must I do it for you quickly?
I'm pushing every. Oh fuck! I pushed B and now it's disappeared.
He just drank it all.
Okay, I'm standing up. Don't worry.
Okay, I see the potion of healing. I can put it in for you.
Don't worry, done.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
It's a learning experience. So, as you make your way through the town, you see, there's a lot of people in town itself. From the little hamlets and things that felt a little bit less secure during the storms, they also came to town. You can see, as you heading to the main market square, that there is a bunch of the town watch busy handing out little food parcels and things, and you see a bunch of little hand carts and some wagons, some oxen here and there, as these farmers and things that had basically sought shelter in town are heading back out, towards their homesteads, basically. So there's a lot of activity. It's very busy. There is this festive atmosphere in the air as well. You do what I would like you to do, should I say, is I'd like everybody to give me some perception checks.
Da, 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 da.
Making with the
Shield's
rolling.
back at it.
Though I roll bad when it comes to looking. I'm so excited by the
Are
atmosphere.
you sure you're rolling bad?
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes. I am
Maybe
weird.
she rolled a 4.
I rolled a 1.
I'm distracted by the jugglers. I'm like excited to get on stage. Just let me at it.
Someone had advantage and rolled
Oh,
a 2.
that's performance.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bims. No. Dropped a 1.
And my shield's acting up again.
And just bash it a bit,
Yeah.
Papa.
Just turn it off and on again.
If shield not work, I use.
It's fun, big guy. My shield works to protect, but it's my eyes. It blinded me for a second.
All right. So you guys don't see anything of any particular note. Cyan and Xerxes, however.
And me?
What did you get?
My performance, hey?
Oh, you got a 21. How did I miss that?
Yeah, mine is performance, so ignore it.
Oh. Oh, I see. Number 5 for perception. Very good. Same as Bims, I see.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We're back to those rolls. The hacks have been enabled again. So yes, as you busy wandering around town, you're noticing all of this hubbub and activity around you. You notice as you're passing by the market that's actually huddled along the docks, there are a number of ships there that have a somewhat unusual design. They're not your average Kierland ship. They're made out of a different wood. They seem to be made out of a darker wood. And the people that are basically disembarking from these ships are decidedly more tanned, darker skin colorations, and as they're coming down off the gangplanks and they're carrying these huge crates and things. It's mostly down there by Gillen Prime Water's personal docks, and you can see that there are some of his, or should I say, all of these ships have got his banners. There's like 2 or 3 of them. His banner is attached to them as well. And you perceive that his little gnomish assistant seems to be taking particular interest in some of the crates that are coming in.
Damn it, my perception wasn't good enough.
Yeah, that would be Cyan that noticed this, and Beirut.
But do I notice, or does my eye catch a particular insignia that looks really fancy?
No, you do not.
Damn.
Hey, Beru, those are some pretty cool ships, huh?
What ships are these?
Pretty.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway,
Sturdy.
it would be pretty cool to have one of them, wouldn't it?
You already have.
No.
What are
But
you
I
two
think
on
you're-
about the
We
ship?
we have ownership.
I guess, technically. Oh, hey, yeah, no, just check out those ships. And
The
find
chef
what-
Bob on our ship.
You can imagine being the head chef of an entire fleet.
No, one ship.
I think the captain's hat is getting to you. So.
I think it's cutting off the oxygen flow.
He needs a bigger one. He needs an admiral's hat.
No, don't give him 9
And a feather.
Why stop with just one feather?
If I look around the ground, is there like a pigeon feather line on the ground anyway?
What did you get for your perception?
Are those candy apples? Wow.
I'll tell you what, make me a new roll, because this is now for something totally different.
Okay.
Commodore Cyan.
Ooh, Commodore.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You see
Sure.
a whole bunch of soggy pigeon feathers lying in the mud
Ah.
somewhere.
I'll grab 2 and just shove them in the hat.
I'd like to intercept that and say, how dare you? Only the finest macaw feathers will do.
Oh my god, macaw. Where are you gonna find a macaw? Wait. Wait. Hide
It
your
died.
bird.
It
Wait,
died.
what bird?
It died.
That is a dead parrot.
That's feathers should be alright, I think, maybe.
So some
It will
red
stink.
feathers.
Hey
It'll
guys,
stink.
so those ships are seem a bit. They stand out. When did they get you? If the storm's been raging this whole time.
What ship?
Well, these ships have just pulled in.
Okay, so they came at like the.
They
tail
came
end.
in the morning, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming that you guys would have been lazing around still, so it would have been late morning for you guys. So
Looking at the ships, is there anything familiar about them? Would I recognize them, or are they just completely foreign?
You don't have any like special. I tell you what, since you guys are basically all based around the coast, if you'd like, you can make me a history check.
Yes.
About the ships.
Yeah.
No.
About
Really?
the
The
you
fucking history
think-
check.
You. Oh wow. That's beautiful.
Nice.
Brilliant.
We
I
should.
couldn't see them, but I
Nah.
know a shit ton about them.
What ships, guys? They're like candy over here.
Once they pointed out to you. So yes, you can't tell because they're not flying in like any like national flags or anything to that effect. Looking at the people that are milling around and the variety of skin tones and that you're seeing, and including that darker wood that the ships are made out of, you get the distinct impression that while maybe they're not specifically from that area, you know for a fact that ships very similar to these and people very similar to those that you see do in fact inhabit the holds of the sea princes,
Okay.
which are a fairly diverse group of people. Because of, and I'll say this with your natural 20, because the sea princes were, for all intents and purposes, they still are a nation of pirate lords. So their crews were diverse, and therefore their populations are diverse.
Sea princess.
But wait,
Mhm.
so why would the sea princes or people from that area be trading here? If isn't Pearl and Saltmarsh and all of them like against the sea princes?
Yeah, I also thought so.
Maybe
As far
there's
as you know, yes.
an alliance.
This has
Question
thrown us for a loop.
Maybe they're a rogue faction that's trying to be good.
Just keep an eye out. Maybe.
Yeah, see, I'm sure Procan got to them and decided that they should do better and come and trade rather than steal.
Or
You and
it's the other way around. We're all gonna start to be bad.
Oh no.
Hmm.
So
Well,
as
It's got something to do with those crates, I'm sure.
well, you can see that those crates, as they're being offloaded, there's a bunch of dock workers at Gillen Prime Water's docks that are carrying them into his personal warehouses. The man himself, you can see on his balcony, sipping at some tea or something, and overseeing. And every once in a while, you hear his, very almost reedy, almost high-pitched voice calling out to this captain or that captain, and like giving orders and like telling those dock workers, not to drop anything, and just like giving commands from on high. So making your way further into town, you cross the bridge. Some of you receive that unwelcome feeling tingling down your spine. But yeah, before you is I hesitate to call it an encampment, but it basically is, because they are half squatting. They've got very brightly colored tents and things set up is the quartermasters of IUs. And you can actually see there's a bunch of carts and things being pulled into their little segment of the town. And a bunch of these quartermasters are busy inspecting goods. You see several of them bear the house emblems of, the Owlins, for example, and the Anders. Solmore brand. You take from your knowledge of the town and that, this is probably salted fish. You are aware from your previous conversations with the good Captain Zendros that is their main reason for actually being in town, is to procure copious amounts of food to send up to the Empire and to the Emperor, the demigod Ayus. So, what would you like to do while you're in this encampment?
I don't actually remember talking to Captain Zendros.
You did. She still inquired why somebody of your heritage is down here and not with them.
I thought that was Maldara.
Maldara is part of this enclave.
Right. Anyways, I'm going straight to Captain Zendros and I'd be like, long time no see.
Once again, she
I'll be with him,
say again?
I say I'll be with Xerxes.
Alright, well, I don't know. Is everybody else with Xerxes and Beirut? Or are you guys just wandering around and looking at their stuff?
I shall perform very soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
wandering around,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
same.
wondering.
I
Seeing
shall
if
prepare.
anything of interest.
trying to keep Cyan out of trouble.
I'm looking for jugglers.
On
Like,
his hat.
like
You-
if all the people in our party are worried about Cyan, actually, no, he would get himself into trouble.
You don't find any jugglers performing in the quartermasters of Iu's area. They're very, matter of fact, very business-like. They do take their pleasures, but not within, this place that they've basically made their headquarters. That shit stays outside.
I'll try and look for something maybe we can use at the Abbey.
Well, you do see Maldara and her wife, old Yuri, at their tent, a table with like a little portable alchemy set basically sprayed out on top of it. You see there's like a tiny little cauldron that they've got a magical flame burning under, bubbling and brewing. And Yuri looks up and she probably sees you guys coming into the encampment and waves to you guys. So, if anybody wants to go to them, you are welcome to. Xerxes and Beirut, you are heading towards Captain Zendros.
Well, we also have to speak to Maldara about that book that we gave her a while ago. So if we are walking past, we might as well do it on the way.
Okay. So, stopping by
Sorry.
Maldara, yeah.
Sorry, just a question. Xerxes, where do you sell your skinny things?
Not here. We will have to do that afterwards at Kester's Leather Goods.
Okay. So
That
it's not
sounds weird. Where do you sell your skinny things?
here.
But anyway. So yeah, Maldara, like you see, she's got those almost hugely oversized goggles on her head. With Yuri standing there, they've got like leather aprons on, these thick leather gloves, and Yuri standing with what appears to be another small like pot or something that is quietly bubbling and steaming in her cupped hands. And she's basically waiting for Maldara to give her a signal. You see that she's standing there ready to pour into this other cauldron. And Maldara is busy stirring it very, very, very slowly. But she does look up as you approach and she says, "Hey, welcome! Haven't seen you for ages. I've got something
Maldara.
special for you."
I'm
I
lost.
hope so. Long time no see.
And she says, just 1 second, this is very delicate. And she takes a step back, and Yuri steps forward and just like pours the tiniest little amount from this bubbling pot in her hand into the cauldron, and I need everybody to make dexterity saves.
All of us.
All of you.
There was a moment I was like, I'm gonna step back hearing that, and then I thought, no, it'll be fine.
No, okay.
Dex save.
Yep, dex saves.
I got so scared.
Nope.
I'm fine.
Well, Maldara's fine. Yuri's not. Siren is fine. Cyan is fine. Carolus is fine. Beirut is fine. Carcarius and Xerxes, you're not so fine.
Yeah, she wasn't joking about the surprise.
Surprise! So what you see is, as soon as this other concoction hits the one that's in this bubbling cauldron, there is a bright flash and then a ton of smoke that just envelops the area. And you three who failed your saves, some of this stuff splashes on you, and you each take... Oh, wow. 1 point of acid damage.
No, ow.
Oh, it's a good thing that
What the hell was that?
didn't get on my fur.
And Maldara says, "Oh shit, that wasn't supposed to happen. I must have put too much of the stuff in. That wasn't supposed
I'd be
to
scared. I'd be scared if that was supposed to happen.
happen." She says, "You'd be surprised. Some of the most fantastic discoveries." And you see she's like moved over and she's busy patting out like a little bit of this fire that started on Yuri's coat. And she says, so sometimes you make fantastic discoveries. I mean, I've discovered all kinds of cures for weird things that you've never even heard about."
You're rambling.
No, I'm not.
What is this you're giving us?
It certainly sounds like rambling.
No, well, this needs to be thrown away now. Yuri, take this and
Oh,
dispose of it in a careful manner.
I would suggest. I would always say throw it in a plant, but Beirut would be really mad at me.
Well, I was just gonna say, do we like just hear an explosion out the back?
Mushroom cloud.
You could go and investigate the back of the what's behind the tent at a later point if you'd like, and I'll tell you exactly what's going on there. But Maldara says, "I am so happy to see you guys. I had a little bit of a breakthrough.
Yes.
Ooh.
It's an expensive breakthrough."
Fuck. Yes.
She says,
Examples?
"Well, you know that book you gave me? Most of it was a bunch of janky crap that was useless to absolutely the umpteenth degree. I can't even tell you how I wanted to scratch out my eyeballs from reading some of this nonsense. But whoever you got that book from was onto something near the end of the book." And she sort of like disappears for a second. She says, "I'll be right back." And she disappears into the tent and she comes out and you see she's busy flipping through this book. And eventually she gets to a splayed out page where you can see she's put like a little thin piece of wood that's at this point working as a bookmark. But it looks like it might have been the splintered remains of some sort of wooden instrument that she was using. And she puts it on the table, after clearing a little bit of space, and she turns it so that you guys can all get a good look. And what you see is a diagram, but what's unusual is the ink on this page is split into two different kinds of colors. On the left-hand side, there's a scroll of red ink. From left to right, it's barely legible, but you can see that she seems to have taken like a piece of charcoal or something and has actually basically like shadowed that so that's a bit more legible. On the right-hand side, you see in like a bluish black ink that almost glistens, almost like it's got some sort of powdered gemstone in it. And she's busy tapping that page in particular, and you see there's a diagram as well of like a six-sided gem. And she says, "This here this is the money maker or money taker. From what I can tell, wait a minute. You guys are fairly clever and smart and so on and so forth. You guys know who Ayun is, right?
No.
Do we?
Okay, so she's a fairly commonplace goddess. Ayun is the goddess of now my brain doesn't want to get the proper,
How do
but
you
basically of intellect and so on and so forth. Let me see if I can get you her proper designation. But basically, Maldara goes on to explain that there's a bunch of these stones kicking about the world. For some other reason, they all have this goddess's name. They are iron stones. Some of them have like fairly basic things. You know, they allow you to see a little bit better. They maybe make you a bit more resistant to like poisons and things. And she says, but this one over here is a little bit of a mystery. At no point do they say what it does. All they tell you is how to make it. So I have a little bit of a proposition for you. I want to see what it does. I will give it to you, as long as it doesn't do anything deadly, destroy the world, things like that. But I need you to get me some... what's the word I'm looking for? Ingredients. And it ain't gonna be cheap. But I'm sure it's gonna be worth it.
What ingredients do you need?
Well, first of all, I need the blood of a dragon. About a pint or so will do.
Okay.
Any
Well,
color?
Any color. As long as there's some
that
sort of
works.
draconic blood involved.
What about a pseudo dragon?
Yeah.
That's draconic. A pint. It'd probably kill him.
Yeah.
We could routinely take a bit every week.
Yeah.
She says,
Every week.
you are aware that pseudo dragons are not like dragons, right? It's all in the
That was
word
a
pseudo.
question.
She says,
And a
no,
dragonborn?
you need like proper dragon blood, like the good stuff.
The good stuff. I see.
I've got dragon ancestry.
Yeah,
you're
but
half-
you also many other things.
And a dragonborn?
No, dragonborn are fundamentally different from dragons themselves.
Okay, so just dragon, guys. Got it.
Just your garden
Oh, wait.
variety dragon.
We're trying to
Alright.
find a different way than going to find a dragon.
You know the black dragon we saw? Yeah,
Oh,
there's your dragon.
in all fairness, I did tell you that it was not going to be easy, but you haven't heard the best part.
Oh god.
I need something called a star ruby.
Star ruby.
That's part 2.
Where would we get a star ruby?
We'll
I
to ask
have
her.
no idea.
Oh,
Thirdly, I'm going to need diamond. A lot of diamond. I need a lot of diamond powder, more specifically. About 5,000 gold's worth.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
I mean, dragon may have that.
The gold,
Yeah.
yes.
You can sell the dragon horde to get the diamond powder.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. You see, this is why I bring these problems to you. You guys are efficient. You know
They're-
this stuff. Like top tier adventurers you are.
go on.
She says, no. I don't want to inflate your egos or anything, but seriously, after you know, and Yuri's coming back at this point, and she like puts her arm around her. And she says, after you rescued Yuri, I have complete faith in you guys. You guys can do anything.
Oh,
Damn
shit.
right.
Shit, I'm not finding my note. Sorry,
What was the
folks.
name of that? What is it? A star ruby?
Yes,
Star
Star-
Ruby.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anybody ever heard of anything like that before?
I
Maybe.
have?
No.
Depends on what the DM allows.
Make me. What would this be? Sorry, I'm trying to think.
Nature check, maybe? Like,
Yeah, I suppose a nature check would probably be the best. Yeah, because it's like geological. Make me a
See,
nature
I'm
check.
an archaeologist. Do I get some sort of advantage?
Sure,
Yes!
why not?
Was it a 1 again?
Crikey,
Nature.
what's it with all the natural 20s tonight, people?
We want to know things.
let's get
what
it
it
out
is,
of the way before combat.
So, Siren, and Cyan, and Beirut, and Carolus. You know that a star ruby is a fairly hefty gemstone. It seems to be, from what you remember, it's mostly like a translucent ruby, but it has a white star-shaped center in it. Hence the star ruby. You know they're worth about 1,000 gold pieces and are fairly rare. Carolus? As a dwarf?
There you go.
You might also know that somebody who might have one would be the dwarven contingent in town.
I thought of it.
But whether or not they can sell it, or would be willing to sell it, would depend.
Or at least they'll know where to get one.
Well, I mean, mining.
Yes, but maybe so they would know who has a ruby star.
Pure starlight.
Yes, in stock.
That's what came to mind.
So that is and certainly an option. I don't know if you would be mentioning this in front of Maldara.
Are those the only 3 ingredients we need?
She says there's some other things, but I can mostly get my hands on that stuff fairly easy. It's just these trickier ones that I need your help with. But I must warn you, this is the cost for one of these babies.
But we still don't know what they do.
Nope.
Haven't got the foggiest, and that's why we need to do it.
So
It's
we
got to be good. Nothing
Yeah.
with this kind of shopping list sucks, in my experience.
Well,
Except for that shit that I just threw out. That was pretty
So
pricey.
we just gotta make a note that when we go after the dragon, we need to take like 6 empty pint jars.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
right.
Which means we need to get some pint jars to put in the
Yeah.
bag.
We'll ask Winston.
I think that's the most difficult thing to get.
The
Wine
jars.
Pint jars in a festival.
Why
They're
not
all
use
gonna be
wine,
used.
Why not use wineskins?
Well, maybe.
But
Wait,
How much is the wineskin?
We drink
How
out of
long
those.
how long does dragon blood stay good?
Oh, we need to chill it, don't we?
It's like
Well-
magical as well.
Yeah, I'm actually. I wonder how
Magical
that would
ice.
work. I would imagine that it would have a fairly long shelf life. Just because
all-
of its nature.
Yeah.
I mean, dragons just keep on getting old until
Yeah.
somebody kills them.
Hmm.
I don't
like a
think I've
fine
ever heard of a dragon dying of old age.
No.
Basically, the older they get, the more powerful they get.
So they're like anacondas.
Ah.
Crocodiles.
I will leave that up to you. Yes. Think of them like as crocodiles.
That reminds me of something. later.
Whatever provides the salve you need to get the job done.
Cyan raises his hand, and he asks Maldaris, can you describe what this gem, this final gem is going to look like that we're sourcing all the ingredients for?
She points at the book.
Is it that one with the 6 sides?
Yep. It's pretty much
So
going to
we're
look like
essentially-
a 6-sided dice.
Yeah, so I turn to the group and like, we're making like a rolling dice. That's what all of this is for.
That's gonna be cool.
She says, but from what she can understand, because she needs to put it into some sort of crucible, she says the dimensions of it will probably be about 3 or 4 times the size of what you would call a normal set of, a normal 6-sided dice.
I've got the sneaking suspicion that we're gonna roll the gem, and then whatever side pops up is like a magical effect. Wouldn't that be cool?
What if like half of it is bad effects?
Oh. Right, that would be our luck.
You see Maldara is busy whispering something into Yuri's ear and giggling. If you'd like, you can give a perception roll to see if you can hear it. Well, actually, no, wait. Who's got a passive perception higher than 15?
How do I know that?
I've got 15.
I'm confused.
How do you
Guns is
know?
13.
Oh no, I'm 1 away. Why?
So, you guys who do have a passive perception of 15, which is Cyan and definitely not Xerxes. And not Carolus either, strangely. That's interesting.
So the two people talking are the ones that hear it.
Well, makes sense. Makes sense. But basically, what you hear Maldara saying to her is to Yuri is like, "Jeez, like, have you ever seen such a bunch of fucking pessimists? You'd swear, a bunch of babies." But she's like smiling at you the whole time.
I say loudly to car carriers, "Huh, isn't it weird how sometimes potions just explode even when they don't mean to?"
Yeah, I know. It's like these adverse effects are something most people should be wary of, not?
Wait, there's
Oh.
lots.
She says, nothing ventured, nothing gained. This is all in the pursuit of science. Sometimes we learn interesting things. For example, I learned, don't spend 300 gold buying something that you think is a rare ingredient from some shady dude at the docks.
I could have told you that before you bought it.
You can
That's
get
your own-
all strange kind of things at the shady part of the docks.
Yeah, that's
Like-
your fault.
All right.
Like the fact the word shady is in there.
Did we lose?
I think we just lost Byron.
Yeah, Byron will be back in a second. He'll be joining us just on Discord. Unfortunately, load shedding in South Africa, people.
It's only in South Africa.
For those of you who are not aware of what load shedding is, it's basically the power company switching off the electricity to screw with us. Because we're playing D&D.
All of the coals.
Earthquakes in Japan can stop their electricity, but no.
So,
Performance. Huzzah.
you want to go perform.
Yes.
Okay, so you're leaving this little gaggle.
Yes.
But Maldara says before you leave, she just says to you that even if you manage to procure all of these goodies, it's not going to be like an overnight thing. It's going to take me like a week or two to actually make this thing. There's
Fair.
a long list of things that need to be done ahead of time. I will start with it so prepare as much as I can, but it's still going to take a while.
Okay.
And she starts giving like rapid fire instructions to Yuri about how to clean out the gunk from the now cracked cauldron on the table, and to basically start fetching things so that they can try and restart whatever the hell they were doing. And she's already she's making a list out loud. She's ignoring you completely now of what she thinks might be like suitable substitutes for whatever she put in there that made it go bang. And she's just like rambling now through this list, ignoring you.
Ah,
Like she's accessing some weird, esoteric knowledge that she's just pulling up from nowhere. And so Siren, I take it you're taking your leave to go and perform in the market a bit.
yes.
Hundreds. The rest of you guys, Corollas and Cyan, is Byron back?
Don't think
Yeah,
so.
I'm here. I'm
Okay.
just muting.
No, hundreds. So where would you guys be going? What would you be doing? Would you just be wandering around? Can I shift over to Beirut and Xerxes and their nonsense?
Yeah, I'm just gonna follow Siren.
What was that noise?
I don't know.
Okay, moving along swiftly.
You guys are a bunch of children.
Sometimes.
Most of the
I take
time.
back. I take back my previous statement.
I told you.
Alrighty. So, Thyron, I will come back to you in your performance.
Okay.
Beirut and Xerxes. So, how are you approaching Captain Zendros in this whole situation? Actually, what is the time, by the way?
Hello.
It's
Is
7
five-
2
Yeah.
or 5 if you want to be.
Okay, well, I don't know how long this particular part will take, but let's continue.
I'm just gonna be with Xerxes. He's doing all the talking, and I'm just going to be observing the old captain, whatever.
All right. So you can make me. What would this be? I'm trying to think. I would say it would either be a straight intelligence check for memorizing details or perception roll.
I think I'll have Bims also look around and see what Bims can see.
So what do you want to do, Neville? How do you want to?
I don't think I need to do that.
You got to study for a while,
Uh-uh.
I assume.
Uh-uh.
Are you sure? Am
Just
I
give me
remembering
one-
incorrectly?
Yeah, you're thinking of another feature that I get later on in life.
Okay, cool. So that's fine.
I'm just want to check. I'm actually just double checking. Just give me a moment.
Please hold. We will return to your regular programming in a moment.
Well, I guess we can carry on, I guess, so long.
Yeah, we can.
Alright.
So you see Captain Zendros. She's without her hat. She's still got this cruel-looking scimitar hanging from a scabbard on her belt. She's wearing her regular. Do you still remember what she looks like?
No.
Not? Scandalous. Let me see if I can find the picture for you quickly.
No, I don't need to.
Oh, okay, cool. 100%.
I just need to observe for a bit. That's all.
Alright. Bear with me. There are so many things, and now I can't find the thing that I'm looking for. Ah, there it is. Captain Zendros. She looks like... Oh, stop sharing sheet? Share sheet.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know.
Oh, yes.
We
Ah,
like
she's
we like
pretty.
sharing sheet.
I remember.
And she's busy standing at a table. You see there's another fairly mousy-looking tiefling sitting on a chair in front of her. She's standing basically behind him when you approach. And he's busy scribbling something in a large ledger, what almost looks like a ship's manifest or something. And she's busy pointing out things and quietly whispering and glancing around at other documents and that on the table as well. And you take it they're busy handling some sort of business for the quartermasters. This is as you basically come into her tent. And she says, "My goodness, it has been such a long time since I've seen you. Welcome. Do you wish to be alone, Mr. Xerxes?"
Ooh la la.
Any time of the day, if
You
it's for
seriously do not remember me flirting with you this way?
Now I remember.
Okay. And she
Gotta
says,
be my language.
"Allow me a moment to get rid of my little friend here." And she taps and she says something in a language that you don't no, actually you would remember. She's basically speaking in a local dialect from up north, and telling him to skedaddle. And she says, "Oh, you have brought your friend, the furry one. I did not know that you were into these things."
No, definitely not. He's not going to join for this one.
She says, "It is a pity, but please come. Sit with me. Have some wine." And she leads you to like a little alcove that's surrounded by these like silken screens, if you will. And there's a bunch of nice large pillows strewn about here and there, all colourful. And she sits down cross-legged, and she's got like a little golden decanter next to her, and a bunch of wine goblets, and she starts pouring out a very rich looking red wine, and she hands a goblet to each of you and takes one for herself. She says,
And I'll accept it. And also, just by the way, that's something that I did want to do while we move in and look. If I look around, I want to look for the item.
So
if it's in plain view, if I could put it like that.
I would also have Bims look around for anything
okay,
that
so
looks
give me perception checks.
out of place.
Beirut sees nothing but Captain Zendros.
Just a sec.
Bims also reports to you that he does not see the strange-looking scroll case that you were told about. You, however, do happen to see, well, not specifically that scroll case. You see that in one corner, as you are being led to this alcove, you catch a glimpse of another table towards the back of the tent that has a number of small chests packed and stacked on top of one another. All of them locked, but other than that, looking fairly easily accessible. You can also see that off to the side is a travel bed of sorts, but it's a little bit larger than normal. It's not for a single person. It's not like a little cot or anything like that. You'd think it's like a double bed comparison. Fine scroll work on the bottom of the bed and on the headboard, and two little tables next to it. You can see there are like lanterns put on the tables. So obviously she entertains here regularly.
Just my type.
So, sitting across from you, she says, "But other than the pleasure of my company, what can I do for you?"
I just wanted to catch up with an old friend, see how you were doing. As you have experienced there with the massive storm, and as part of my kind, I want to see that you're okay.
She at the mention of the storm, she kind of hisses, and she says, "Yes, that stupid storm. It really messed with all of our plans here. But no matter. We shall persevere. But yes, it is an interesting time. Yeah."
It is. I was going to ask as well, are you guys planning on heading back up north anytime soon? Or are you still planning on sticking around for a while?
She says, no. I stay here until I am recalled. As long as I do good job, I stay in Saltmarsh. I might make an occasional trip to procure new lines, but most of our operation is handled from here. Everything is sent up north with ships.
Okay. I want to say, are you going to be joining the festivities in the town tonight? It'd be nice to spend some time with someone more like myself.
And she reaches over and pats you on the arm and she says, "For you, I will come."
Can I blush? How does my face look?
I don't know, you
Different
tell
with
me.
red
It's your
or
character.
different color?
Purple.
Yeah. A deeper shade, I should
I'll
imagine.
tickle her leg with my tail, just like I did last time.
Okie
I don't
dokie.
know that I'm business.
I'm so happy I'm not there.
She is very receptive. She says, but I take it you did not just come here for the pleasure, yes? What else do you want? Come now, I can read it in your face.
So, have you found any interesting new items? Procured anything of interest? Yeah.
She says, I have one or two things, but unfortunately they have been earmarked for our illustrious leader. We cannot offer them to you, as much as it would please me to do so.
That's a pity. I don't have anything to sell either.
She
But if
says,
you do
but
come across any interesting finds, please do consider me next time. I might want to procure it before you sell it on.
She says, give me a hint. Stop playing so coy. Do you have an idea of you wanting? Something particular?
So jewels with a magical element. I think it store spells, things like that. Potentially, weapons are always nice. Anything magical, really.
She says, I can perhaps ask for something to be sent down from the fatherland, but it will not be cheap.
I wouldn't anticipate it to be cheap.
And she says, let me make some inquiries. I will see you around, and I will tell you what I can lay my hands on, so to speak. You get it, yes?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
She says, excellent. Yeah, have some more wine.
Oh, gladly.
And she's starts pouring and filling up. I don't know how much wine you would have had to drink already, but she keeps it topped up. She says, I have a favor to ask of you as well. A little, you scratch my back, I scratch your back, yes?
With pleasure.
I am looking for a piece of equipment. I do not know if I have said this to you before. Have I mentioned it to you?
Oof, I don't have it in my notes, so I'm gonna go ahead with no.
She says, I am looking for something called an apparatus of Kalish. It is a magical machine of sorts. My master, the great and the powerful Ayuz, would like one. Should you ever find one, I will pay you handsomely for it.
What does it do? Can you describe it more?
She says, it is a machine. This is all I know. I know it is large. I believe it is mobile to some extent. but not much more than that. My master, let us just say that he's not very free with the information, yes?
Okay.
But you are smart, you are clever. Maybe you will find something. Something that the locals here do not want to tell one of my kind, or, well, our kind, but one of my kind that come from someplace that is not, let us just say, not so friendly.
Okay, and do you have any indication of what kingdom it would potentially come from? What race?
If I knew that, I would have already procured it.
Very well. I'll look into it for you.
She says, if you do find it, I must urge you not to go and give it to somebody else. It would break my heart if you took it to somebody else. You bring it to me, yes?
Very well.
We shake on it, yes?
Yeah, look, she's probably gonna be able to give us favors in the future, so I think that's a fair thing to do. So I'll shake her hand.
All right. So she reaches across and she takes your hand in both of hers and she presses it very firmly. And there's a small tingling sensation down your arm. She says it is a deal.
Did she squeeze my hand that hard, or did she do something dodgy to me?
Make an Arcana check.
Oh god.
Actually, make an Arcana check if you'd like, and you can also do something else for me. I just want to get the particulars in front of me. I thought I could find it faster than I did, but apparently I was wrong.
Can the rest of the party also find some quests, please?
I'm
I'm just
performing.
kidding.
I'm next, don't worry.
It's part of being charismatic, I guess.
Mhm.
Alright, I'm just trying to make sure I don't want to fuck this up. Yes, so I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Okay. Ooh, I'm not good at those.
Apparently not. So, what she has done, you, from your Arcana skill, you will have recognized that she has placed upon you what is called, I can never remember how to pronounce it. I believe it is a Geas, a Geas, which is basically a magical compulsion that for the next 30 days, you are compelled, if you find one of these items, you are compelled to bring it to her and her alone.
Okay. I'm gonna say,
It's like a
feeling,
super charm spell.
I'm feeling this happen. I'm gonna say, is my word not enough? A little bit shocked that you would cast a spell on me, without my consent.
She says, but it was consensual. You agreed.
Yes, with my word.
Well,
Is
let
my
us just
word not
call this
enough?
insurance, yes? Come now, it does nothing. It just makes sure that you are honorable in your intentions. I've had many lovers in the past screw me over, so to speak.
And I say, yeah, well, you better make it up to me tonight. What time should I pick you up?
Oh, she says, oh, I do not know if your little arms will be able to pick me up, but let us see. Let us say that when the sun starts going down, we will meet in the market. Yes, for festivities.
Get roasted.
Sounds good.
Ah.
And she says, will your furry friend be joining us?
I don't know.
And she's giving you like a long canine toothy grin, Beirut.
Business in forest tonight.
Oh, he's a wild one. I like him even more.
Good for you.
This chick is hectic.
I mean, whatever. I can't even say anything without making it
What?
sound weird.
I guess I asked for it though.
But she says, "Come now, I must get back to work. We meet later, yes?"
Yeah, I'll see you later. Thank you for the wine. Can you
Tiny.
top me up
It is a
before I
pleasure.
leave, if I go?
She like pours you another full cup. And I might need you to make a Constitution save at this rate.
She pats you on the
This will
butt.
be
actually.
the third glass.
What do you mean pats him on the butt? That tail of hers is probing.
I gotta love a good butt tickle.
Whatever gets you going.
She is. Let us just say that she is assessing
Oh,
the merchandise.
Ah,
She wants to
Smart.
know what she's paying for.
she's
And
smart.
I don't wear underwear or anything. I'm literally just wearing robes.
Kinky.
Not this again.
It takes 2 seconds to get
Whoa,
ready.
whoa. He's just wearing robes and he's always flying above us.
Yeah. What do you think? I never look up.
Yeah, why do you think we don't look up?
Thank goodness I've never looked up.
Who's going to be the first person to say, "I look up"? I'm waiting for it. All right, so it is now 8:15. I think we're going to take our obligatory break
Cool.
for a spell, about 5 minutes or so. And then when we get back, we will continue with Siren's performance in the market square.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay.
It's going to be okay. All
I
right.
don't want to say that.
Stay tuned, folks. We'll see you in a second.